Today we're gonna see how exactly we can deploy our beautiful site which we have on localhost to a custom domain which is accessible throughout the world. For this, we will be using GitHub Pages, which is completely free. So let's get started how exactly we can do that. For creating this site on localhost, I have used the GitHub Copilot. With the prompt I have created this. You can try it yourself. Once this site is done, I've started a Python utility function to start a HTTP server for local. With this, I'm able to deploy and run this particular static file in my local. So the outcome of this is something like this. So once the portfolio site is up and running on your local, the next task is to move it to somewhere which can be accessible throughout the world. So there are many options which you have. One of the option could be you can buy some server. Uh, Either you can deploy on AWS, you can have your server in some hosting site like hosting or some cheap some other hosting sites, but those are actually cost you something. But if you are looking for some free option, then GitHub Pages is something which you have to go with. So for GitHub Pages, actually that is provided by GitHub and completely free. So completely, I'll show you like in my GitHub. If you'll go here, I have a repo which is the name website. So this repo is having all the similar code which we have on our local, and this code with the help of GitHub Pages, I have actually deployed it to the custom domain that is blog your code. This is the site which we have. This also have HTTPS. So let's get started with our implementation part, how exactly we can move our local site to the GitHub Pages. For that, you can go to GitHub, and if you don't have the GitHub account yet, just create one. And after creating the account, just go to the repo and create a new repo. For this, let's say I'll just create one test repo, that is website test, and let it be a public repo, no worries, and create a repo. Once this is done, if you know how to work with GitHub, which I hope you should be, but if you don't, then that's also fine. We have option to upload the existing files because we have already existing code which is up and running on local. We can push that code. Here you have an option to drag your files here. So our code which we were using is actually here. So if you look into this for, if you reveal this in Finder, you'll see this. These are the things which we have. Just select this, drag it here, and drop it. So all the files are dragged here, and you can see all the files are here. You can, once all the file is uploaded, just commit it. So all your files are committed to GitHub repo. You can see on another repo also these files are here. Now you can go to settings. Inside the settings, you will find a tab for pages. Under the pages, you have to just select the source as a GitHub action. So inside this, because we are building a static HTML, you can just click on this and do the click on configure. Because we are not doing anything special on this, we can just commit these changes. Once these changes are committed, GitHub action should be triggered. Once that GitHub action is completed, we'll be able to see our site. You'll be able to see that your site is here. If you'll click on this, your site is actually up and running with your GitHub username and github.io site. So it is a subdomain of github.io, and you have your site. But if you want to have the custom domain here configure, you have to actually buy your custom domain. In my case, I have bought this custom domain from GoDaddy. So inside that particular vendor from where you have bought this custom domain, in this documentation, it's mentioned that you can actually add these IP address of GitHub These IP address can be added as a record in your DNS. So in my site, if this is my domain, inside here, I've added all of this. So after a certain point of time, mostly after TTL, you should be able to see your site up and running. I'll show you already deployed one, which I have deployed with my earlier thing. So once that is done, you can see your uh, blog, your domain name. Once you save it here, after 5-10 minutes, you will be able to see your site with this particular custom domain name. Even if everything goes well, your HTTPS will be enabled after 1 hour. You'll be able to access your site with HTTPS. Before that, you'll be able to access your site with HTTP only. So once everything is done, you have your site deployed on your custom domain, which is accessible throughout the world, and your portfolio site without paying any money. You'll be able to deploy your portfolio site and you can share to anyone. Thank you for watching this. Keep learning, keep building.